Canceled over a cartoon show. Can you imagine that?
No, that never happens.
No, that never happens. This is Neon. I am here with Geeky Sparkles.
Hello.
This is Clownfish TV, and we have been canceled over cartoons more times than we can count.
That's right.
And now, apparently, another YouTuber, Lindsay Ellis, has been canceled over a tweet about Raya and the Last Dragon.
That was from months ago.
From months ago, of course. That's how it always works.
I think there's more to it than that. They keep blaming it on these tweets. I will bet there's more to it than what they're saying. However, I'm just like, welcome to the party. We've been dealing with this for a couple years now.
I am actually shocked. She has over 1 million subs. I am shocked it has taken her this long to get canceled for something.
That's why I think there's more to it.
I'm sure there is. Now, we're just going to look at this because we don't watch her videos. I've heard of her before, but I don't watch her stuff. But we're going to talk about this cartoon cancel culture because this is something we actually do have a lot of familiarity with, for better or for worse. But yeah, they are constantly on the prowl, and you're basically being threatened by a bunch of 15-year-old white girls.
Pretty much.
9 times out of 10.
I mean, what she said was the same thing everybody else was saying. Was that Raya felt like Avatar. And it did feel like Avatar. Everybody kept saying it. And then people were like, they took that to mean, well, you're just comparing it and saying it's a Pacific Islander culture, and what are you doing? And you're being a racist. And she's like, huh?
You know what the correct answer to that is?
Fuck you?
Fuck you.
Is that what you're gonna say for real?
Fuck you, and fuck those of you who are watching this video thinking that we should go fuck ourselves. You fuck off first.
I don't need to, that's why I have you.
But ting.
Anyway, I'm just
All right. Anyway, we're gonna talk about the cartoon cancel culture because God knows. I mean, it's so weird. I see these YouTubers talk about comic book culture being toxic.
Oh, they have no idea.
You have no idea. You guys are. I'm gonna be honest. You guys are getting off easy, and I'm not saying it's a cakewalk to deal with comic book people, but at least for the most part, you're dealing with adults.
Raylos are pretty bad too, but somehow. We end up having them all come at us. They all hate us.
They all hate us.
So it's not just one for us. We get all of them. But yeah, the cartoon ones, the tabletop gaming ones are pretty bad too. But the cartoon ones, I still think are the worst.
Yeah, by far. And I think it's because of the the age. I think is part of it too. So you just have this
the mentality. Yeah, the mental age. I'm just like, what gets me too is like she's like, they're trying to say, well, oh, you just said that all of our cartoons from that look alike. That's not what she said. She said it was like Avatar ripoff. And it kind of did look like an Avatar ripoff. We all were saying it.
A very, very lukewarm take. It wasn't even a hot take.
No, well, we don't even give hot takes. People say that we're like, you're all right, oh my God.
Oh my God, you just tell these people to go fuck themselves. That's how you deal with them. Anyway, we're going to talk about it. Before we get into it any further, please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants. Here on Clownfish TV, we do talk about the animation industry, talk about cartoons, comic books, and all the weirdos that seem to be attracted to these industries. We're not talking even the professionals. I mean, sometimes the professionals can get a little weird, but the stan culture that's grown up around
and it's not everybody in that either. We're talking about the fringies, the extremists, because every group has them, but the cartoon ones are extra fun. So, yeah.
Yeah, so there are a couple articles out there that attempt to walk normies through it. Again, not familiar with Lindsay Ellis. I'm sure people in the comments are going to be like, well, she did this and she did this and she did this. I'm sure she might have done
There had to be more to it than just this. Yeah, I can't think that it was just this.
I mean, to be fair, though, these people are batshit crazy. These are the same people that we've gotten... Let's see, we've had attempts to hack our social media accounts, and I'm assuming it's the same group because they also send us supposedly anonymous messages on all of our social media accounts. They send us emails telling us to go kill ourselves.
They wish our children were dead.
They wish our children were dead. They actually, again, all over fucking cartoons, right? They actually started different threads on different forums trying to dox our kids.
A poll about raping me.
Yeah, I mean, again, over fucking cartoons. Presumably over cartoons or just some other underlying mental illness going on. But these people are absolutely fixated on smiting anyone who even remotely shades a fucking cartoon show.
It's either Raylo or a Shiri. It's one or the other.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. It's like, okay, this is not new. when they talk about toxicity and bad behavior, especially on Twitter, and they talk about bullying culture and all that shit on Twitter, I'm going to tell you where they need to go to stop it. They need to deal with these stands, these shippers and these cartoon stands that are extremists, that are effing all ridiculous. I have seen the most toxic bullying, bullshit, worst, like, slang term racism, istophobia I've ever seen in my life. Out of the people that are supposed to be championing the minorities. They're supposed to be like, oh, we believe in diversity and inclusion, and we believe in acceptance. And they're like the worst of the worst when it comes to toxic bullying. Telling people to kill themselves because they didn't color a character in the way they felt they should, which we're going to talk about in a second. But they always come back at you with, well, you can't say anything to me because I'm a minor and I'm autistic. It's like, bullshit. You're an asshole. You're just an asshole because you know what? I have family members who are autistic. They don't act like this. Bullshit. You big baby, you're hiding behind Twitter like, oh my, you're what you call them, cry bullies. I'm going to go harass everybody else until you come after me. And then, oh my God, you're pressing me. Oh my God. You are the biggest toxic pieces of shit I've ever seen in my life.
One of these days, one of these people they're going to take it too far. Everybody can be found. I don't care where you are on the internet. Everybody can be found.
You'll find, even if you're using anonymous emails, if there's just cause, they'll give you they'll turn over who you are.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
You're not hiding from as much as you think. You think you're so clever.
Moderators on chat boards.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. There are ways to find out who. And if it goes too far, and I think one of these days it might go too far with one of these people, I guarantee you're not as anonymous as you think you are.
No, because you're not. And the thing is, Twitter is supposed to be putting things in place to be able to attract people more and things like that because of this. But if you want to stop the awful, toxic, you want to go after the real toxic fans, look at the people on Twitter.
So let's talk about this, because a lot of cartoon showrunners, and this is, we'll talk about it later, but there are certain fandoms that are more, I believe, toxic than others. And a lot of times it is the showrunner or people associated with the show who court this particular audience because they're like, we want these super fans. And then they realize... But
they weren't super fans to begin with. They shit on the real fans.
Yeah, but then they realize they have a problem because these people want everything their way and they get downright vicious if they don't get it.
The thing is, you're never going to please everyone, no matter what you do.
So this is kind of the perfect storm here, because she's getting it from Disney fans and from cartoon fans.
oh, honey.
First time?
Yeah.
Over 1 million subs, and this is the first time you've dealt with this shit? Come on. Okay, so YouTuber Lindsay Ellis has quit social media months after she was at the center of a Twitter controversy. For her criticism of the film Raya and the Last Dragon.
That no one cares about at all. It didn't do well, and no one's talking about it now.
Gives a shit. On March 26th, the film critic and content creator ignited a frenzy among movie fans when she compared the Pixar movie to Avatar: The Last Airbender.
We did too. So did a lot of people.
So?
That's what I'm just like, so what? A lot of people said it felt very Avatar to them. There was many people who said this, not just her.
Since then, the 36-year-old, who has over 1 million subscribers on YouTube, has faced a lot of criticism for her take on the film, which saw her opinion being labeled as racist and expressing anti-Asian sentiment.
How was it expressed? It felt like a ripoff of Avatar. How dare you? How many times are there movies that feel like other people bring up, oh, it's just a ripoff of whatever? Are you allowed to, go after them for that?
Every Pixar movie, every Disney movie that they make current year is a ripoff of something else.
Yeah.
I mean, it is. Now, as of December 28th, Ellis announced she was quitting social media and published a lengthy post explaining her decision on Patreon. In the now deleted tweet from March, she wrote, also watched Raya and the Last Dragon, and I think we need to come up with a new name for this genre that is basically Avatar: The Last Airbender redos. It's like half of all YA fantasy published in the last few years.
But she's not wrong.
She's not wrong.
She's not wrong.
A lot of time, look, I could even argue that Shang-Chi even had some Avatar-esque elements to it. Mm-hmm. And it's unfortunate.
Waterbending much?
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
Airbending?
Yeah. So it's kind of like, they're like, oh, Asian means XYZ thing, and it is what it is. I think that's a fair criticism. I don't think it was derogatory.
No, it was just, it felt like that's what it was.
I've said before, I would love for them to come up with a name for all the late 70s, early 80s heavy metal type type movies that existed that were all bombs at the box office, rock and roll and heavy metal and all those things. There is no genre for that, but they were all very similar.
They'll find some misogynistic name to give to it, and then you're not allowed to say anything because how dare you? She's like, she clarified in her tweet later, I can see where if you squint, I was implying all Asian-inspired products are the same. Especially if you, I don't think she...
Okay.
I'm sure she got trouble for that too.
Okay. Okay.
I didn't even see that.
Oh, God.
I didn't even see it until you said that. Give me a moment. Hold on. Okay. I can see where if you squint, I was implying all Asian-inspired properties are the same, especially if you're already privy to those conversations where I had not seen them. But the basic framework of The Last Airbender is becoming popular in fantasy fiction outside Asian-inspired stuff, which is true.
It's very true. It's always like a motley group of kids, that dynamic, and, you know, if it works...
Well, it's like, for example, like they're really stretching to say she's racist over it. And I was like, it's kind of like when I said I didn't like the new design of She-Ra because I didn't like, I didn't like her outfit or something. And they're like, you're just a misogynistic racist. And I'm like, she's white. I'm just like, where did you come up with that?
This controversy led to Ellis deleting her Twitter account for a while, which led to more criticism.
You can't win.
In April, around a month after the controversy ignited, Ellis posted a YouTube video titled Mask Off, in which she spoke about being canceled. So she was canceled then, and now she's double canceled. In the video, she said that the controversial tweets were ascribed an intentionality which wasn't there. That's everything on Twitter. She added, you shouldn't tweet in the morning. You shouldn't tweet at all. Nobody should tweet.
Amen.
That very poorly worded frustration was met with even more outrage.
Put on your big boy and girl or non-binary person pants. This is ridiculous. I'm like...
Or skirt.
Yes, wear a skirt. I don't care. Just wear something on your bottom.
Or unitard.
Cover your ass, okay? And some people, let's wear a bag on your head. It just depends. But here's the thing. It's like, no matter what you do, they're going to get pissed at you. And then that was met with outrage. It's like, who the hell cares? The best thing you can do is just stop worrying what Twitter says. Because Twitter is just a cesspool of shit. And that's when you got all these toxic, screaming children. And I mean, not just chronologically, mentally. Just yelling about, because they're mad at you. They wish you death because you didn't like a cartoon.
So it's interesting. She puts the post behind a Patreon paywall.
I thought that was funny too.
So you got paid to see me quit social media. I don't know. Look, I don't disagree with where she's coming from.
She's getting all this media attention, and she just now has to deal with this shit. People like us have been doing it for years.
We deal with, I mean,
when we get media attention, it's negative. Like, oh my God, Kevin Smith said that you lied. Then they found out we didn't lie. No one did a story on it. Oh my God, they were telling the truth. No,
nobody walked that shit back.
No, they didn't walk that shit back. But she gets some toxic cartoon stands after her on Twitter because she said it looked like an avatar, which it does. And then they're like, oh my God, this woman's quitting months after the fact. And for tweets that were made months ago. News on Newsweek. I'm like, honey, come on. We've been dealing with this shit for years.
Lindsay. You tell them to go fuck themselves.
Yes.
That's what you do. I know it's not very PC, and I think she's very concerned about being PC. But
apparently she does. She is. Yes.
Yeah. So here's the thing. Okay, they're not PC. It's all a lie.
It is all a lie. I've seen people that are going on about about inclusive and women and we have this Black Lives Matter and all this other shit. Turn around because Zoe Saldana backed up Chris Pratt because she knows him personally that the people that were all like Black Lives Matter were calling her racist names. Okay, I'm not even going to repeat them because I would never use these terms on a normal basis. Racist, horrible names. But it's okay when they do it.
Yeah, and Elon Musk is 100% right. Yeah, Musk got a lot of traction for this. Of course, Twitter hated it. He said wokeness basically wants to make comedy illegal. He said it was, at its heart, wokeness is divisive, exclusionary, and hateful. It basically gives mean people a shield to be mean and cruel, armored in false virtue.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Like, you get these people that are just like going around being the most toxic, bullying pieces of trash I've ever seen, telling everybody else to kill themselves over coloring cartoons or whatever. And then the most vile, egregious comments come out of their mouth in regards to minorities or people in general.
Yep.
And then they're like, oh my God, but you're just horrible people. You're an istophobe.
Yeah, when the chips are down, you see exactly who these people are.
You don't have to have the chips down. Just listen to what they say. If they truly believe what they claim they believe, they never would use that terminology to begin with.
No, what they're doing is they're counting on you having a sense of guilt, a sense of...
they're trying to bully you.
Yeah, they're trying to bully you. And the reality is that they would never play by their own rules. They're just trying to manipulate you because you think of yourself as a good person. You don't want to be a bad person. So they're trying to manipulate you and prey on that.
They're basically slapping with your own hand, telling you, say I'm a bitch. Say I'm a bitch until you say it.
Yeah, and you tell them to go fuck themselves. And then you pursue
you slap them and go, who's a bitch now?
And you pursue legal avenues if you have to. Because
give a file to the police department.
Yes.
That we may or may not have done.
You have to do that. I mean, this is one of the best articles written on this cartoon stan culture coming from Geek Dad a couple of years ago.
We've mentioned this many times because it's well done.
It's very, very well done. Talking about how a group of internet fans known as antis transformed shipping and fandom from don't like it, don't read it to discourse and death threats.
Yes, it's
death
true.
Threats.
And the thing is, again, we're not talking about everybody who likes a cartoon or likes a show or, we're not talking about those people. We're talking about the ones who take it to extremes. We're not even, a lot of shippers aren't bad people. Believe it or not, there's a lot of shippers out there that aren't dicks. We're talking about the ones who take it to extremes.
Yeah, so this is one of the voice actors on Voltron, I guess. Got another threat and threatened to send the cops after people. Look, stan culture has its own entry on Wikipedia now. Mm-hmm. That's how toxic it's become. Steven Universe, again, cultivated and chased that audience. And I can't tell you how many of the people who worked on Steven Universe have been quote unquote canceled or called out for literally every damn thing. I mean, people working on the show had to leave Twitter because of it. I know Rebecca Sugar has been called out multiple times over it.
Well, then you had the Raylos and stuff. Like, I mean, Adam Driver had to hide his wife and their baby away from people because he was afraid of the Raylos. Yeah. I'm like, it's ridiculous. It's like, I can't even.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. I mean, we've been covering this for years. We had this one. Again, if you make characters too light-skinned for Twitter's liking, they come after you.
They're mad because people were doing Sailor Moon and they were,
She looked too white.
She looked too...
I mean,
I remember we had that one artist right here. You're talking about here, the fan artist attacked on Twitter because she drew Mermista, but she drew OG Mermista, and they were telling her to kill herself and all this shit because they whitewashed Mermista. No, she didn't. She had already she was a fan of the new show too and drew fan art of that, but she drew an original Mermista because she liked her, and they went after her like to the place we had to do a video on it. They went after her.
A lot of people in the animation community right now are dealing with this. I mean, look at what happened with Scott Cawthon and Five Nights at Freddy's. His fan base turned on him. A lot of them turned on him. And then, and
it wasn't because he gave money for a political
donation. He gave money to Trump.
Right, but he also gave money to Democratic candidates, too.
I believe so, yes.
And you'll find, if you look at corporations across the board, like Disney, for example, they give money to both sides.
Yes.
And they admit it because when they were afraid that the Republicans were going to stand against confirmation of Biden, Disney publicly threatened to not give them financial contributions anymore if they did anything. So a lot of these companies buy off both sides because then they can call in favors.
Yep.
They're not like all righteous and all standing for one side only. Like people want to think they are.
That's the one scene in The Last Jedi I actually liked was Benicio del Toro's character DJ or whatever, the arms dealer guy, where he basically said, the X-Wings and the TIE fighters come from the same factory. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it all goes to the same place. Money all goes to the same place.
Right, exactly. And it's not untrue.
Yeah, and so I think a lot of these kids, they reason like children. I'm going to assume that they are children.
I think it's insult some children.
They want to think that they're the people that create the things that they like are flawless people who do everything and think everything that they think they should do and think the same way they do. Because it's kind of that projection. So then when the bubble is burst and something happens that they don't like or they say something off color, then they dogpile them. Really, these people are miserable. I think a lot of them legitimately are mentally ill. Mm-hmm. I mean, you have to be to obsess over YouTubers as much as they do. I mean, day in, day out, constant tweets. There are some people we know on Twitter that their entire account is literally just obsessing about us.
Or a couple other people they think we're tied to when we're not.
Yeah, it's like, how fucking sad is that? I mean, you think about our channel more than we think about our channel. Mm-hmm. Like, what else do you do during a day? Like, that's just fucking sad.
Yeah, it is. And the thing is, it's like, and what it started is because I didn't like your opinion on a like Star Wars or She-Ra or some kind of cartoon they didn't like. And the thing is, this I feel bad for this Lindsay, because that's her name was Lindsay, right?
Yeah.
But because I know what she's going through, but I there has to be more to it than this, because we go through this on a daily basis. This happens to us all the damn time, and we don't quit.
Yeah, I mean,
she has way more subs than we do.
Yeah, I'm thinking she probably has courted this audience. This might be the first time they turned on her.
I don't know.
I saw on Twitter that I guess her Patreon post was, kind of supposedly blaming the patriarchy and the men and the whatever. It's like, no. I
can guarantee you they're anti-patriarchy.
Yeah, it's not the men you have to, well, it might be men, but I guarantee you it is kids or younger people, activist types who really think they're doing God's work. Not figuratively,
no, they say they believe in diversity, inclusion, acceptance. They say they want diversity, inclusion, and acceptance, but then they refuse to accept anybody that's different than them.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think we're going to see more of this happen, though, because you can't have any kind of dissenting opinion on Twitter. And Twitter is what really puts you in the crosshairs. I mean, I know there are some YouTubers that don't have much of a Twitter presence, and they don't get nearly the pushback that people that are on Twitter, interacting on Twitter, get. And they still keep their views up. It's just that, Twitter puts a crosshair on you, because they're searching for a certain topic. And if you happen to do a video about that topic, they find it, they follow you, and then they hate watch you.
Right.
Still get paid all
the same.
You
do that when you harass people in their comments and you watch their videos to yell at them. They still get paid. You know that, right?
Yeah. So, pretty interesting. I think we're going to see more of this, and really, this stops when people say it stops, when there's pushback. And like I said, eventually somebody is going to push it too far. There's going to be legal action, and shit's going to get real. And like I said, you think you're anonymous, you're not. Like, there are ways to find out who you are. So, all right, we're going to wrap this up.
Yep.
Please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants. We'll talk to you later.
Bye.